Hi, this is Richard McMillan. As you can see, I'm using a PlayStation 4 and I'm attempting a speed run at the Konami playable trailer known as PT, which is a digital download and therefore I can't show a physical disc.
Right, fucking Jared Leto, because he had my long hair, Kev stuck that. Tristan thought it was me and him in the paper. Is that what there's you and Uncle Alan in the paper?
Killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. The day of the
TV, RumbleMedia.tv, live stream of a speedrun at PT. My previous best time was 3 minutes 53 and the current world record was 12 minutes and 11 seconds. Now, for those of you wondering, the door system in PT is done in what's known as a timescale system, where it's a key time release. In other words, the doors basically do what they want. When they want. Now this is going to be archived on my own Twitch channel. I've not triggered that door. Have now. Now, I have a theory about this game that involves Hideo Kojima and his worship, shall we say, of David Bowie. As some of you may know, there's many Bowie references made all the way through the Metal Gear Solid games, particularly Metal Gear Solid 2, where one of the characters is called Major Tom, and he's a recurring character in Metal Gear Solid 3 as well. Thanks, Andrew. The reflection that you can see in the mirror, obviously some people already know, that's actually Norman Reedus. The sad with the game that this is the precursor to Silent Hills is sadly being cancelled. However, as some of you may also be aware, there is a new game coming out probably next year called Allison Road that appears to be the spiritual, if not indeed the successor to this playable trailer. Now, thanks all of you for joining me tonight.
Gun store 2 days earlier. This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on Sunday afternoon.
Now, as I was saying earlier on, I currently have, my current time is 13 minutes 35 seconds for it. And the current, I wouldn't say it's the official world record, but an acknowledged world record for this is 12 minutes and 11. So that's the time I'm going for tonight. But as no one has ever to the Guinness World Records, I'll be doing so with this run of PT. So, and I'm hoping that if they acknowledge it, it will be put through as which, when I upload the video to their service tomorrow, I won't actually know until Monday. But yeah, going back to my theory, as I was saying, Hideo Kojima is a big David Bowie fan, and in this, the house itself acts as a, shall we say, a labyrinth of sorts. And the character that David Bowie played in the movie Labyrinth was called Jareth.
You've seen enough.
Yeah, so Jareth was a character David Bowie played, and as a lot of people may or may not know, there's a puzzle towards the end of this that involves saying a word into the microphone. And for a long time, a lot of people were puzzled about this word, what the word was. I believe it's Jareth.
I'm talking well-refined, upstanding folks got their welfare cut, got their jobs pulled out from under us. You know what to do. Now's the time. Do it.
And a couple of times that I've done this speedrun, I've used the word Jack, which is the name of the male character whose story is being told by the radio in the background. And other times I've used Jareth or a version of Jareth, which is Jareth. And all three of them have worked at different times. However, knowing my luck tonight, none of them will work. I keep thinking that this second bit in the corridor goes as fast as the first bit, but it doesn't. This is me in the last puzzle. The screen breaking here is deliberate. It's meant to happen. All you can do is walk about. No, Nicola, I haven't finished it yet, but after this screen breakage, I'm on the last puzzle, which is the 3 baby laughs. Now, I don't know if you yourselves will hear the laughs, but I can hear them in my earpiece.
204863. 2048.
And every time that this game breaks, like this, every so often, it's a different message that appears. Sometimes it's, it's yellow with black writing, and other times it's white with blue writing. It's very strange shapes. But I absolutely love this, and I would never, ever delete this from my system. As you can see, there's a message from Hideo Kojima himself saying this game is purely fictitious, it cannot harm you in any way. But this game basically tells the story of Jack and Lisa and how Jack murdered his entire family in this house, the ghost. Now, that's my stopwatch gone, which means the acknowledged world record. I failed at that, even though it's not official. But I'm going to keep going. And I can't hear the baby speak. try to hear a baby laugh and I can't. Jareth. Jack. Jareth. Jareth. Jack. Jareth. Jack. Jareth. The phone should ring now.
You've been chosen.
And that is the very last puzzle there, folks. It appeared that this time the word Jareth worked. And while I haven't beat the 12 minutes 11 and I messed up with the word, I'm still quite happy with that.
Dad was such a drag.
And
Every
this
day he'd
bit
eat
of the
the
game
same
is well
kind of
worth
food,
watching.
dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining.
Sadly, folks,
I was dying of
I've failed in
boredom
my
anyway.
attempt to beating the unofficial world record, but
guess
if Guinness
what?
acknowledges my
I
speedrun,
will
then
be
it will
coming
be the
back,
official world
and I'm
record.
bringing my new toys
So
with
it's a
me.
possibility. But and weep at what may have been the beauty that appears to have been Silent Hills. However, rumour has it that Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima are both working on a game together. Guillermo del Toro was the director, and Hideo Kojima obviously is creating the game. But unfortunately, as I said, I haven't beat the unofficial world record, which I'm disappointed at. And that is the end of Silent Hills PT. I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and if you stay with the feed, if you're watching on ramblemedia.tv, unfortunately you won't be able to see this. However, if you're watching at my own Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/papachio3, you will be able to see Kevin Murphy, one of my colleagues at Ramble Media, as he is currently streaming from the Xbox 360. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I will see you in the future. Goodbye.